views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Good evening and welcome to a special celebration of Irish Heritage Month hosted by Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson. I'm Arlene Makoko and we're at the Rambling House in Woodlawn Heights. This section of the Bronx is historically Irish American working class. It's a neighborhood at the very north end of the borough, evidenced by the many Irish pubs and restaurants along Katona Avenue, where we're celebrating the contributions of Irish people in the Bronx. Today's celebration is starting soon, but before we begin, we have a special guest here. He is the president of the Ancient Order of Hibernians in Section 4 in the Bronx.
Division 4 in the Bronx, part of the Bronx County AOH. And my name is Jack McCarrick. McCarrick is not a common name. It's a Sligo, County Sligo name, common mostly in that part of Ireland. You know.
Talk about being honored today and what it means to you as an Irish American.
Oh my gosh! Well, this is just the epitome of being of my Irishness, being honored like this. I was just a Grand Marshal this past Sunday at the Throgs Neck Parade, and I wore my sash for the occasion. So this is like one thing after another. I'm just so proud of my Irish heritage. My parents taught me all my values, and we have children who have been to Ireland many times and have been in contact with all their cousins. I have a large family. When you have aunts and uncles or parents who they're one of 12 or 13, you have lots of aunts and uncles and cousins too. And my wife especially, my wife Marie, we're almost 40 years married this September. She's been such a constant loving companion to me over the years, you know.
Well, that's what, we want to talk about, just a rich heritage, a lot of commitment, a culture that is really deeply rooted in your Catholic faith, so much a part of your decisions, and just talk a little bit about that and just, and this neighborhood.
Okay, well, I'm from Throgs Neck, which is the southeast portion of the Bronx, okay? I'm very involved in my parish there for many years, since I was 14 or 15. And I don't want to go into the details, but I've been involved with the Holy Name, Nocturnal Societies, Knights of Columbus. I run blood drives. That's very close to my heart. I've run 86 blood drives since 1990. Very active in parish activities. I also play music. I'm very into Irish traditional music, and I play a wooden flute. And when I say there's all types of Irish music, songs and stuff, this is the traditional type, jigs, reels, hornpipes and airs, things like that. And I've played that at church. I was playing last night, in fact, there.
Wow, and we're hearing a little bit of this music inside. I can't wait to join.
I'm being distracted because I know the tunes and I'm listening as we're talking here, Arlene.
That's really wonderful. And let's talk about this neighborhood. I know we have a large Irish community in Throgs Neck, but this one here is also Irish. Can you talk about Woodlawn and its importance to Irish Americans?
Oh, yes, I can. It seems to be a melting pot here. I would say I've been to Ireland many times, but walking down Katona Avenue here or McLean Avenue, you could think you were walking on a road in a town in Ireland with the style of the signs and all the names of the establishments here. I know a lot of Irish tend to congregate here, as is natural for lots of different ethnic groups: Italians, Irish, blacks, Hispanic, and so on. My two sons lived in an apartment here for many years, just around the corner, and my aunt was here for many years. She's still alive, thank God. She's living in Florida, and so all my cousins were here too. So
one very last question, and
yes,
probably most important, the Ancient Order of Hibernians. Not many people know about that. Talk a little bit about that.
They don't. The Ancient Order of Hibernians was established originally back in the 1850s, I believe, to defend the Catholic faith and to defend against what would you call discrimination against the Irish in this country anyway, and but it promotes, if I remember now, faith, charity, and companionship, all under the name of God and Jesus. And there are many activities we get involved with, not just religious, such as having a Gaelic Mass, which we've been doing here for the past couple of years, and it's streamed worldwide, but also having secular types of things for fundraising and doing good deeds and donating money and things like that. For example, we just donated a check to the Throgs Neck Benevolent Association. This past Sunday at the parade, I was the Grand Marshal for.
Jack McCarrick doing so many great things.
My sash just dropped.
Oh no!
But it's okay.
Oh no! It's okay.
These things happen.
These things happen. That's the joy of live TV. So
Yes.
you were getting a good look at you here. But
Yes.
you're dressed in green, so you're
I
doing
am.
okay. Really great.
Thank you
Such a
so much.
pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, and happy
yes.
St. Patrick's Day to all the Bronx Net viewers. Happy St. Patrick's Month is what I should say,
That's
really.
what you should say.
Okay. Thank you very much.
so much.
You're
and
very welcome, Arlene.
congratulations once again.
Yes. Okay. God bless everybody.
God bless you. And now we have Scott McKiernan receiving the Youth Award tonight. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yes, tell me what it feels like to be here today, to be honored.
It's pretty cool to know that you're the role model student and getting an award for it. That's pretty cool.
Talk a little bit about that. I like this whole thing, role model student. Talk about that.
So in school, basically, the principal came to me and said that I was receiving this award and said that I was a good student and that I show people how to become a better student.
Oh my gosh, that is like something that I know your parents are so proud of. And I don't know you and I'm proud. So there you go. There you go. So talk about, what grade are you in and is that hard to do? Is it hard to be a role model in your school?
I'm in 8th grade, so not really, because it's just me being me. And I guess that's what people want.
That's what people want. You're right. Now, it is Irish Heritage Month. Talk a little bit about how you and your family, how you keep up with Irish tradition, culture. Can you talk about that?
So at family gatherings, we play a lot of Irish music, and we have a big party on St. Patrick's Day.
I love it. I love it. So Irish music, like a little bit of what we heard here?
Yeah.
Talk about Irish music. How is it different from,
It's
other music?
it's a different type of music from now. It's really different, actually. It's more high pitched and stuff. Yeah.
And that's probably with the instruments, right?
Yeah.
What the instruments are, the guitar, the banjo. Talk about the instruments. What instruments?
The violin is one.
Cool.
I saw them playing.
Yes. Yes. Congratulations. I'm
Thank
putting you
you.
on the spot, am I? I'm making you talk a lot. Just because you are a role model and we want you to talk a lot. Really great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you going to be nervous up there?
No.
I don't think so.
Gaelic football. What about Gaelic football?
Gaelic football, what is that?
I used to play Gaelic football when I was little, but I don't play anymore.
You don't play anymore?
No.
Okay.
I stopped.
What a pleasure it's been to meet you,
Yeah, thank
Scott
you.
McKiernan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Wow, so we have another awardee, youth advocate, Robert Moriarty. So thank you and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Wow, talk about today being here in the Woodlawn section, being honored.
Oh, it's great. I live 3 blocks away. So this is the best place you could have it because I can walk home. I walked here, I'll walk back home. But no, excellent. I run a Boys and Girls Club in this area, and I've done it for many years. So I have a lot of friends and family that are here that can't fit in that room, so they're in the main part of the restaurant. Just so you know, I have a lot of friends here that won't be able to fit in there, but that's the way I love it.
Really big on, I'm here on tradition, on really raising up a new generation of Irish Americans. Talk about the importance of that to you, to your community.
Yeah, well, I've always been a part of the Irish community. I grew up in the Bronx. All my kids have done the Irish dancing. One of my children is a world dancer. Actually went to Scotland to compete at the highest level. So I'm around it. I've always been around the music, always been around the sports. So they call this area the 33rd county. There's 32 counties in Ireland. This would be the 33rd.
33rd county.
Yes. So this
I
is.
love that. Can you talk a little bit about Woodlawn and its importance to the Irish American community?
Oh,
when did that begin? Yeah, talk about that.
Sure, it's been that way since I've lived here. It's probably been that way 40, 50 years. It's excellent. The young Irish will come over for the summer. They'll work here. They'll find jobs in Manhattan, Queens, and it's great. It keeps the whole neighborhood alive. And we, of course, the culture is great. The music, like I said, the sports. It really is. It's a great place to live and raise kids.
Really great. Yeah, I was just hearing our awardee getting the youth award. He plays Gaelic football. Now, how is that different from regular football?
I played college football, American college football. I dabbled in the Gaelic football. It is basically football without equipment. It's basically, and you're kicking the ball. It's kind of a combination of soccer and American football and rugby, if that makes sense. So it's a pretty exciting sport, fast moving. So it's fun to watch. If you've never caught a Gaelic football game, it's something else to watch.
It's on my list. It's of priorities now. So I want to talk a little bit about you and being, you're a youth advocate, you're a humanitarian. Talk specifically about your work.
Well, I've been doing this for about 15 years. I also have a day job. So to do both is a challenge. I've never gotten paid to do the volunteer work, which is basically every day. I work with many coaches, many board members, running the Boys and Girls Club that are, putting a lot of hours into doing this. There's our basketball season, which just is about to end, has almost 500 children. 500 children from kindergarten to ninth grade. So if you divide up the teams, that's about 10 kids per team. So you're talking about 50 coaches, 50 assistant coaches, and 4 gyms that we have these games in on Saturday and Sunday all day long. So
how do you manage that? That's
board members. You need other people that are as devoted or as out of their mind as me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So
what a beautiful thing that you're doing. As you said earlier, as we talked about, really raising up a new generation in the culture and getting involved so that they become productive.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I don't get paid, and I do it, and I would continue to do it, and I am going to continue to do it. So, thank you.
Wonderful. Definitely deserved attention here. Thank you so much for talking with us, and congratulations to you again. And now we have another honoree and a humanitarian organizer. His name is Sean Ruane. So stay with us, who he is actually here. And here we go with Sean. What a great day it's been. It's not raining. It's like a perfect day. We can tell that spring is here. And the coming of spring means it's Irish Heritage Month. And here we are with Sean Ruane. Congratulations to you.
Yeah. How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
Great. Talk about being honored and recognized today.
I didn't expect it. I've been kind of under the radar for the last year. I used to own a deli in the Bronx and had a restaurant in Westchester. And since then, I've even changed my number because that phone number was like the favor phone. So I just kind of said, let me just switch over a little bit because I hate saying no to people. So yeah, it was an honor. And when Sarah called me up, I was like, how did you find me? She said, oh, you're pretty easy to find. We have our ways, So, but it was nice. It's a nice thing. I'm from the Bronx, born and raised, and raised by Irish immigrant parents. My mom died when I was young. Dad raised 5 of us and taught us integrity, teamwork, how to do things right. So
we will definitely, I want to talk more about that, and I just want to commend you. I know that it's been a difficult time for business owners during COVID. If you want to talk a little bit about that and how it's been for you.
Well, to be honest, I was out before COVID. So I'm in the union now, and I'm kind of in a carpentry supervision type position, So it's good. And then I'll probably get into real estate after this project's over,
Wonderful,
Yeah.
Wonderful. Talk a little bit about growing up. This is a neighborhood that's very significant to the Irish American community.
Yeah,
So talk a little bit about that.
Well, one of the things that I fall in love with was Irish music. When my mother got sick, I just sang to her. I never had any lessons. We couldn't afford it really. So just sang to her. And then as I got older, people started asking me to sing at their events. I was like, really? I was like, kind of surprised by it. So I did theater with Derek Woods. We did it with his theater group, and I've been singing at probably over 1,000 funerals over the last 25, 30 years,
Can you sing at least one stanza for us? Just one line. Give us
I
something.
think I'm going to sing later on. I was just told I was singing something, so.
I do have to admit to you that "Oh Danny Boy" is a longtime favorite growing up.
Right.
I played it on the violin. It's just a favorite. Talk about the "Oh Danny Boy" and a lot of the folk songs of Ireland. What do they evoke for you?
Well, a lot of times when I'm asked to sing at these funerals, it's special for the person because we pinpoint where they're from, and then we bring that song or one of their favorite songs from Ireland or whatever. So a lot of the masses that we do in St. Barnabas are really special because we have the ability to do that, to sing to that person and the family, to help them. So. Yeah.
The culture, the heritage is so rich, and you're a part of that. You have been integral in keeping that alive.
Yeah, I'm Irish American. I always say Irish first, and I'm just I love my background. And being from the Bronx, I mean, we're the luckiest people in the world. I mean, the only people who know that though are people from the Bronx. So we are a special bunch, and the relationships and the people I've met over the years from every neighborhood, every different parish, and bars too, and but we all kind of come together when it's necessary.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Yes. So, you know what? Stay with us as we celebrate Irish heritage with the Borough President, Vanessa Gibson, at the Rambling House right here in the Woodlawn section.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bronx Borough President Vanessa O. Gibson's annual Irish Heritage Celebration. Please give yourselves a nice round of applause. Thank you for being here. Yes, if you have a flag, wave your flag. Proud to be Irish today, right? And every day. My name is Sarah L. Rivera, and I'm the Director of Special Events, and it is my honor to introduce to you our Master of Ceremonies, Derek Woods, the Executive Director and Founder of the Riverdale Children's Theater. Woo!
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, everybody. Let's give another big Bronx Irish welcome. There's certainly been a lot of stops and starts coming back from COVID, but today finally feels like we are coming back. And what better place to celebrate all of the return of just getting back to who we are. My name is Derek Woods. I'm born and bred in the Bronx. My dad was from Leitrim. My mother was from Sligo. And I am so proud to be here on behalf of Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson. Let's give a big hand to our new Borough President. The grand tradition of the St. Patrick's Day Parade began over 260 years ago in Lower Manhattan and has grown into a month-long celebration now across the tri-state area of all things Irish. Beyond the green beer and the festivities, we spend our month celebrating the tremendous contributions of Irish immigrants, all the things they have given our great country, our great city, and our great borough. Before we begin, I want to also give a shout out to everyone who is watching here and abroad. We are streaming live on BronxNet TV and Facebook Live. And of course, a big shout out to the Bronx, to the New York City Courts Pipe and Drum Band who gave us that beautiful introduction. Without further ado, please welcome Monsignor Kevin Sullivan, the Executive Director of Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of New York, to, of course, say a prayer and get us started.
Almighty God, we gather here in the Bronx. We gather here on this Irish Heritage Celebration. Almighty God, we're going to raise a prayer to you, but not too somberly, because that would betray this heritage of a people who loves life, a people who celebrates, a people who enjoys the life that you have given to us. And so we ask you to bless this, and we ask your blessing on our borough president who has gathered us here tonight. We ask your blessing on her and her leadership in this great borough of the Bronx. Almighty God, which I add is my borough where I was born. And so bless this borough, but bless all of us and the heritage that we celebrate. For this is a country of immigrants, and as we rightly celebrate the contributions that the Irish have made to this great land, we would be remiss if we didn't recognize that so many different immigrants have made this land great. And in our raising up the heritage of the Irish, we don't diminish, but we enhance the heritage of so many from so many different lands who make this country and this borough great. So Almighty God bless everyone. And in these days, those of Irish heritage know full well the sufferings of their native land. Over the years, the oppression. Over the years, the pain. Over the years, the death. Over the years, the violence. And so, Almighty God, maybe our land, the land of Ireland, is a little bit more peaceful this year than in many years in the past. But not so your world. And so we raise up the people of the Ukraine and their suffering, because their suffering is our suffering. We raise up the people of Poland who have welcomed millions who have sought refuge, as in this land we have welcomed hundreds of millions over the year. Make us to continue to be that welcoming nation, even though people come not merely from one continent, but from many continents. Make us still a welcoming nation. And in that way, you honor the Irish heritage of immigrants who have made this land great. And so, Almighty God, we don't want to bore you anymore. You've heard our prayer. You know we need your help. And we ask your blessing on this gathering, not only this day, not only St. Patrick's Day, but we ask your blessing forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you so much, Monsignor. Now at this time, please remain standing as we introduce Eva Fleming. She is a student from the Woodlawn Music House, and she is here to perform the Irish National Anthem. I would. Yeah. Be up front so we can see your...
Sheena fina for although Ram Windorslu Heart yonder on fatsir Sean sheer arshin sheer fosta Niog for fwyn tir anon fwyn tro Anog da hins a barna bwyr Leik on gil con bas no sydd Leik on skriagt Trail avag na vilir Shadif kanin arahana vil
Beautiful job, Aoife. Beautiful job. And now, please welcome Brita Wood from the Woodlawn Music House to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful job, Rita. All right, you can sit down now. We are one Bronx, un solo Bronx, and we appreciate that everyone is here today where everyone is Irish. But we'll give you a little bit of a history lesson while I'm here. In the mid-19th century, as the famine raged in Ireland, they came to this country because they had no choice. There were gangs of laborers who constructed the New York and the Harlem Railroad, the Hudson Railroad, and the High Bridge. Their backbreaking and highly dangerous work inspired the sayings that the railroad had an Irishman buried under every tie. They endured harsh attacks and prejudices here, but in time, they used the ballot box to gain their foothold. They continued to settle here and in the Bronx throughout the 20th century, and there were Irish enclaves in just about every section of the Bronx. They soon swelled the ranks of the police and the firefighters, and soon after that, the political offices of our great city. They worked the trolleys, later the buses. They became teachers and doctors and lawyers. And then, like today, life centered around the church. Raising a family. Money was sent home on a regular basis. And if you were very lucky, a trip back home was more than just a phone call. Over 31 million Americans claim Irish ancestry, and for many of them, the connection is a surname or DNA test or an old photograph. But here in the Bronx, particularly in beautiful Woodlawn, the bond is much, much stronger than that. Immigrants continue to come here from Ireland, to raise their families here, to open their shops and their bars here, and to help ensure that all of us, first and second generation Irish, continue to keep the traditions alive. At this time, I would please like to ask any and all of our Irish immigrants that have joined us here today to please stand up, and let's give a big Bronx Irish cheer to all of our Irish immigrants that are watching here on television today. The Bronx was the first stop on the journey for thousands upon thousands of Irish immigrants. Many have moved on, but to them we still ask, and we ask one thing: don't forget where you came from, and always speak of it highly. Of course, we Irish have always been a little bit misunderstood, even amongst our own people. The Irish are laborers and they're craftsmen, fighters and singers, and sometimes both. Sean Wayne. Today and every day, the Irish are a part of our great city and borough, embedded in the soil both figuratively and literally. Look no further than Ground Zero, where 1,000 of the nearly 3,000 lost were of Irish descent. We honor them all this month as well. We Bronx Irish, we wear our claddagh rings and our wedding bands with pride, for the claddagh symbolizes the values of love, loyalty, and friendship. And it's not just a symbol. Most of our childhood friends are still our best friends, something that is incredibly unique as you travel all over the world. People don't have that. We have that. We have that here in the Bronx. And anyone who comes from the Bronx knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's easy to romanticize our past, but we know it wasn't all pretty. As we say in the Bronx, it was what it was. Much of the problems were solved by an Irish mother or an auntie and a cup of tea. We first generations were often called narrowbacks, the idea that our backs were slight and that we weren't as strong as our parents. You know what? Everyone who's a narrowback will agree to that. They were amazing. However, I like to believe that while our backs might be a little slighter, our hearts grew bigger. Our arms grew longer. Our legs grew wider so we could reach for all the things that they gave us. That not to squander the education that they sacrificed their lives for us. To do great things that they never could. To give back to the next generation and to everyone less fortunate here in the Bronx. Here in the Bronx, the history of the Bronx is still being written, especially with Irish music and dance. Take note by the amazing Erin Loughran and her kids here today and all over this great community of Woodlawn. We still have vibrant music and dance instruction and representation at All-Ireland competition, flaws, and championships. The Bronx's own Joni Madden and Eileen Ivers tour the globe and have rewritten what traditional Irish music is. In fact, the National Endowment of the Arts, which is the United States government's highest honor in the folk and traditional arts, was awarded to Joni Madden just this past September. A girl who started here in Woodlawn, and now every time she gets on that stage, the first thing she says is, "I'm Joni from the Bronx." And she's so proud of her. And she's so proud of where she comes from. And we are so proud of her. So, of course, now it's only fitting to introduce one of the fine examples of music, talent, and grace. Please welcome Erin Loughran. She herself has won multiple All-Ireland titles to the fiddle. She's a graduate of the college in Limerick. And Erin was also the 2011 Rose of Tralee. Quite a package.
Thank you, Derek. We're going to play a set of reels for you now. I have Oisin O'Shea here on the banjo. Oisin lives here in Woodlawn. Pamela Garrity on the guitar. Pamela's a lead singer of a band called Gersha. And Aoife Fleming to my left on fiddle. And she's going to dance a few steps for you guys as well.
Outstanding. Let's hear it again for Aoife and Aaron Locken and the entire group. And now it is my distinct pleasure, after 3 years since our last Irish celebration here at the Rambling House, history was made here in the Bronx. And it is my sincere pleasure and delight to introduce to you our newest borough president here tonight. Vanessa L. Gibson is a native New Yorker, and her entire adult life has been dedicated to public service here in the Bronx. Beginning in January 2001, while a student at the University of Albany, Ms. Gibson worked as an intern for the legendary Assemblywoman Aurelia Green. Legendary. She worked her way up the ranks to eventually become district manager, and remarkably, in 2009, when Assemblywoman Green resigned her seat, Ms. Gibson ran and was elected Assemblywoman in the 77th district in the Bronx, where she would serve for 2 terms in the Assembly, and then ran for an open seat in the City Council. As a council member, Ms. Gibson was a leader on education, affordable housing, criminal justice, and safety issues, and she held the distinction of being the first African-American woman chair of the New York City Council Public Safety Committee. She helped pass the landmark right to counsel legislation, which provides free legal representation for income-eligible tenants facing eviction in the housing courts. And in 2020, she announced her run for Bronx Borough President with a mission to move the Bronx forward to focus on public safety, food equity, housing, health and wellness, gender equality, and support for the LGBTQIA+ community. She has vowed to get Bronxites back to work, to help the borough's small businesses recover from COVID, and to build back on the economic developments of her predecessors. With her landmark victory, Vanessa Gibson now proudly represents the borough of the Bronx as the first woman and African-American Bronx Borough President. Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa L. Gibson, Madam Borough President.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Wave your flags. We are back. We are back. Welcome to Rambling House, and welcome to our celebration of Irish heritage. What an honor to be here. What an honor to serve for such a time as this. I am so thankful to each and every one of you for being here today. Let's give it up for our amazing Master of Ceremony, Derek Woods. And let us recognize the phenomenal talent of the Erin Lochran School of Irish Music and Arts. And we also want to thank the New York State Court Pipes and Drums. Thank you so much for your incredible work. Of course, providing our opening prayer, because everything we do is truly with the spirit of our faith. Our Monsignor Kevin Sullivan, thank you so much. Also want to recognize Brenda Wood. Thank you so much, from the Woodlawn Music House. Thank you. And can we give it up for the young and talented from the Woodlawn Music House, Effa Fleming. Thank you so much. What an honor and what a real important occasion that we are here for today. And I am so honored to serve in my new capacity as number 14, your Bronx Borough President. Who's counting? But I am grateful to be here at Rambling House, great to be here in the Woodlawn community, and I'm so thankful for all of you to join us at our Irish Heritage Celebration. So while this is my first celebration in my new capacity as Borough President, this is an annual occasion from the Office of the Bronx Borough President, because every year during the month of March, we gather to join and celebrate Irish American Heritage Month and the remarkable role of our Irish families and residents and so many from the immigrant community to acknowledge, to reflect, to celebrate, and to really confirm all of the significant great work that has been done in the Irish community. The milestones, the celebrations, the arts, the culture, the music, the food, everything that represents the great borough of the Bronx, and the importance that the Irish community has had here in the Bronx, in the city of New York, and the state of New York. And the luck of the Irish shines not just here in the Bronx during the month of March, which is my birthday month too, so it's even more special. I am a March baby, and truly we've had a number of celebrations. And while most of us know the historical St. Patrick's Day and the Patrick's Day Parade, far fewer are aware of the Irish American Heritage Month that's celebrated right here in the Bronx. And that should come as no surprise because Irish Americans have played a prominent role in shaping the culture of the Bronx, of our city, and of our country. And during this month, it gives us an opportunity to pause, to celebrate and reflect and highlight Irish American culture and all the contributions that have been made to our society. My team and I are so proud, and we're so proud. It was cold last Sunday when we joined the Throgs Neck community for the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. It was cold, but we had a great time. And we were marching along East Tremont, and we had a great time. We had marching bands, we had youth, we had schools, we had so many residents from near and far that joined together. And I also want to acknowledge that this was the first time in the history of the annual Throgs Neck St. Patrick's Day Parade in which we recognized the LGBTQ plus community and included the Lavender and Green Alliance as a part of our community. So I want to thank the Throgs Neck Benevolent Association and all of the participants of our parade on Sunday. And when we celebrate culture in the Bronx, when we celebrate acceptance, when we celebrate the love and who we are, it is expected because the Bronx is so rich with culture and residents from all backgrounds and all ethnicities. We do not allow intolerance of any kind, discrimination and racism of any kind in this borough. And it is our collective responsibility to always call it out anytime that we see it. And unfortunately, we've had a series of incidents of hate crimes happening right here in the Bronx. And every time it happens, the elected officials, community leaders of all faiths and backgrounds come together and not only denounce it, but we know we have to prevent it. How do we do that? With education, with inclusivity, with making sure that our children understand the history and know the contributions of the Irish community. And so I am so grateful to all of you for being here. We have an incredible list of honorees that we are recognizing this year. And I also want to acknowledge that for the first time, we are acknowledging and recognizing a youth. In every cultural event that we have, we are going to celebrate our young people. We are going to recognize our young people. We're going to amplify our young people. We're going to empower and uplift our young people. So we started with Dominican Heritage and Black History Month, and then Women's History Month. And tonight on Irish Heritage, we're going to do the same. And next week, we recognize as Greek Independence. And we're going to continue to do that because we are the foundation of the Bronx. We are a beautiful mosaic and beacon of hope and opportunity for the next generation of leaders. Our young people need to look at us and see themselves in all facets, in all professions, as first responders, essential workers, frontline staff. During the time of the pandemic, when many of you were out giving out PPE and food and reminding residents and families that they were not alone, during the greatest times of challenges, I've seen the resilience and the strength of Bronxites. I've seen people step up to give their last to help a neighbor. And I just want to say on behalf of the Bronx, thank you, community. Thank you, elected officials and community partners, for your overwhelming love and support of the fire families and the victims of the Twin Parks fire that we faced in January. 10 weeks later, we continue to help those families who will never be the same again. But we know it could happen to any of us. But during that time in January, people stepped up. And I am so grateful to all of you to be your borough president and to be a part of this incredible fabric of our community. I want to acknowledge and recognize my colleagues in government, who I am so proud to call my friends and my partners. And we are joined here today by our amazing District Attorney, Darcel Clark. Just have to say, the DA and I are always twinning, and each morning we reach out and say, what color are you wearing? Are you wearing green? You wearing red? That is my sister, and I want to thank you, DA Clark, for your support, for your leadership, and your commitment. We are so grateful to call you our district attorney. I want to recognize our partner at Borough Hall. So honored to call her my sister. The first week in office at Borough Hall, we announced the appointment of our deputy borough president. And ever since that day, 10 weeks ago, we're not counting, she has been at my side, by my side, having my back, helping me troubleshoot, navigate, and really provide the blueprint that our great borough needs. Ladies and gentlemen, our deputy borough president, Janet Piguero. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues who represent the Northwest Bronx here in Woodlawn. So grateful to call them friends. We've done a lot of great work together, and I look forward to our continued partnership. Want to acknowledge our Assembly member of the 81st District, Assembly member Jeffrey Dinowitz. And our New York City Council member Eric Dinowitz. Thank you so much for being here. Want to recognize our New York City Civil Court Justice, the Honorable Matt Rosso. Thank you so much, Judge Rosso, for being here. We also have our District Manager of Bronx Community Board 8, Ciara Cannon, is here. Thank you, Ciara. We also have our District Manager of Community Board 12, George Torres. On behalf of our New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, we have representing her, Troy Outlaw. Representing our New York State Assembly member, Michael Benedetto, we have John Colazzi. Representing our council member of District 13, the Honorable Marjorie Velasquez, we have Nick Roloson. I think everyone knows him. Former staff member of the Office of the Bronx Borough President. He is our borough designee for the New York City Health and Hospitals. He is everything health, everything Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Nolan. Everybody knows Bob Nolan. Our Associate Director of Public Relations at Jacoby Hospital, John Doyle. And representing the New York Botanical Garden, we have Elizabeth Figueroa and Angel Hernandez. So as we begin our award celebration for this year, let me just congratulate all of our honorees. Whether you are acknowledged or not, you realize that the title does not make you who you are, but you make the title what it is. And there are so many of our unsung heroes and sheroes right here in our community that do this work every single day, that wake up on purpose with a purpose and serve our children, our families, our seniors, and our veterans, and they do it with honor, with integrity, with commitment, compassion, consistency, and dedication. And so tonight is just a small reflection of our honorees from the Irish American community. But everyone is a VIP. Everyone continues to do your part each and every day. And I remind all of you that we are all in this together. We know that we are living in challenging times. The past 2 years of COVID-19 has been a painful reminder that life is so short, that no one is guaranteed tomorrow. And everyone has been impacted personally and professionally by COVID-19. But as we recover from this pandemic, as we try to return to some sense of normalcy, I want to remind all of you that better and brighter days are truly ahead. As your borough president, it is my honor, it is my privilege to serve. I am ready to lead. I am excited about the work ahead, but equally as important, I'm excited to walk this journey with all of you. My team and I thank you. I want to thank my staff for all the great work. Every time we have these events, it just reminds me of the overwhelming support that we have. And I am so grateful to serve as your borough president. And congratulations to all the honorees. And thank you all for being here this evening. And now, I turn the program back over to the amazing, dynamic, and exceptional Derek Woods. You got to do a dance, Derek. You got to do a dance. I'll dance with you. I love to dance.
Gotta get the clogs out.
I'll dance.
Thank you so much, Madam Borough President, for all your work you're doing for Bronx families. And in particular, thank you especially for making the Irish community a priority this March. Again, you're all hitting the ground running. Let's give another big applause for our trailblazing Borough President. Now it's time to meet the honorees, and I will warn you all, I just want to, if you see things getting thrown or anything up here, there's a real problem, because I keep looking over here, and I got a bunch of Ruwains sitting over here, and I'm getting, like, really bad flashbacks from grammar school, because I have a priest here, and then a bunch of Ruwains right behind him, so normally they'd be, like, in the corner or something. Yeah, so if they start throwing things up there, it's them, not me. Our first honoree is a lifelong Bronx resident. The son of Irish immigrants John and Ann, Jack is the current president of the Bronx AOH Division 4, which stands for the Ancient Order of Hibernians, who are America's oldest Irish Catholic fraternal organization and was formed in 1836 to promote Irish ideals, culture, history, and national freedom. He's a committed member and volunteer of St. Francis de Chantal Parish, where he is part of the choir and the Holy Name Society. He writes the newsletters. He chairs their annual blood drive, and he's also been the recording secretary for the Throgsneck Homeowners Association for more than 2 decades. And he's also an incredible supporter of the Throgsneck Benevolent Association and their annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. He's marched in every one, same as me, since 1998. And this past Sunday, Jack was honored to be the Grand Marshal of the 24th Annual Throgsneck Parade. Bronx Trivia, he's the longest-serving Grand Marshal of the Throgsneck Parade, because he was the Grand Marshal in 2020, and then 2021, we didn't have one, and then he finally got to walk down the Grand Mile. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, on behalf of Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, we salute you, and the Irish community salutes you. Jack, come on up here.
This one? Another? Okay. Of course. Good evening, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Month to everybody here. You know, should I use this instead, or it doesn't matter? Vanessa and I are old friends, and along with Darcel Clark, because we got to know each other very well this past Sunday on the reviewing grandstand. It was so cold, we huddled together. Vanessa was very smart. She had hand warmers with her. So, but it was a delight to meet her there along with Darcel Clark too. So to our Madam Borough President, the Honorable Darcel Clark, and all the other elected officials, and my dear family who are here, and friends, and everybody else, as I said, happy St. Patrick's Month to you. I think that Derek Woods summed everything up, so I don't really have to say anything about myself. I've just been very involved in our parish and our community. You know, this is all because of St. Patrick, and St. Patrick was a great man. He wasn't, oh, my shash is coming off, don't worry about that. It's here for a reason, I'll tell you why. I'm going to take it off and do it here. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to trip on it. But anyway, thank you. I'll need it in a moment. Oh, yeah, in the wallet, okay. He wasn't the first missionary in Ireland, but he had the biggest impact early on in the 4th century, I believe it was. He converted so many people, established so many churches, and all that religious fervor, that religious morals, and the ethics came down from generation to generation to my parents, who are natives of Ireland, County Sligo and County Mayo. And I thank them for all that they've given me. In all the things that Derek talked about, that I'm involved in, I don't like to talk about myself, I really have to thank my dear loving wife, Marie. Because who's been so steadfast and devoted to me. We'll be married 40 years this coming September. And she's very active too, by the way, in our neighborhood. So, and then we have 3 great children, Brendan, Claire, and Andrew, who are here tonight. Our daughter Claire is a math teacher at Fordham Prep, and my 2 sons, Brendan and Andrew. Andrew's not here because it's his wife's birthday, and they had prior arrangements. But Brendan's here. They're both musicians. They're bagpipers and musicians of Irish music. As I am myself, I play the Irish flute, and I am thoroughly enjoying Erin Loughran's music tonight. Erin, thank you so much for all that. My mom and dad have been gone for many years. I wish they would have been with us at the parade to look down. But I'm compensated because my wife and I, Marie and I, we have 2 beautiful grandchildren in their place. One of whom is here tonight, Thomas, right here, almost 7 years old. And our granddaughter, Kelsey, she was too young to come. She's 21 months. We babysit for her. But I'm very happy to say, as I said outside to the interviewers, that first of all, when your parents are one of 10 or 12 children in a family, you get a lot of aunts and uncles and a lot of cousins. I have 51 first cousins, for example. Plus, there are all sorts of second cousins, and I'm so proud that our children have gone over to Ireland many times, as I have. I've been there about 30 times, perhaps, and they have established a bond among all our family members, and that makes me very proud. And by the way, at this parade, which we had, our son's pipe band was given the honor of leading the parade right with the Grand Marshals. Sheila Haney was my co-Grand Marshal with me that day. I wore the sash for a reason, if I may hold it, Derek, if you give it back to me. Now, I'm so happy that we're back, as Vanessa says. It's wonderful. I think people are hungering for this, for excitement, and just acting normally again, and we're getting there. I wore this sash, not so you could see me wear it, but notice that the sash, I don't know if you can see it, says 2020, as Derek described. We were canceled 4 days before the date of our parade in 2020 of March. Of course, it was disappointing, but it had to be done. And so we really came out. But I think 2020 is a poignant reminder because of all the people we lost due to COVID or COVID-related illnesses. We had in this parade a large number of deceased honorary Grand Marshals who have passed on since 2020 or the end of 2019. And they were honored. It was a record turnout, I believe. And I carried in my heart the prayer for all those who were being honored that day in the parade. They all were not just Irish or Irish-descended people of all many different nationalities. So our parade, as Vanessa said, was inclusive, but our community, Throgs Neck, is inclusive, as is the entire Bronx. So I just want to say thank you for this honor. Remember our departed ones, but I also give some advice. Be good to yourself, stay healthy, look after yourself, because if you're healthy and wise in both mind and body and spirit and religion, if that's your forte, then you can help other people too. You can do things for other people as well. So if you're good to yourself, you'll be good to other people. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for Jack. Our next honoree was born and raised in St. Philip Neri Parish, the son of Irish immigrants. He lost his mother very young, but that never stopped him from singing. In fact, Sean Ruane has been a voice in the Irish American community in New York, literally and figuratively, for the past 30 years. He's a selfless fixture in the New York City Irish American community, whether as a vocalist, organizer, volunteer, or frequent master of ceremonies at dozens of Irish events throughout the city. He's worked and volunteered on behalf of numerous organizations, like the Riverdale Children's Theater and the New York Rosa Trelease Center, and in 2012, he was named the Irishman of the Year by the Ashling Irish Community Center. He is perhaps most well known for his efforts on behalf of families in their time of grief. In parishes throughout the 5 boroughs and in upstate New York, he's continuously donated his time and talent to hundreds of families in the Irish community as a vocalist at funeral masses. If anyone who has ever lost a loved one know how difficult it is to plan that mass, everyone seems to get Sean's number. And his voice has soared in such a time of grief and has offered so much comfort to so many. And whether he's singing at a wedding or a funeral or aiding an organization's efforts for a local benefit or arranging gigs for touring musicians, he spends his times with his kids, and he currently serves as head of business development for K4 Construction Corp. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bronx and Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson honors you, Sean Ruane. Please come on up here.
So, hello everybody. I got a phone call about 2 weeks ago, and it was from Sarah. Is Sarah here? Oh, you're Sarah, okay. And I ignored it. I didn't get back to her. She called me again, and I was like, she goes, oh, hi, Sean, this is Sarah from Vanessa Gibson. And I said, okay. And she goes, we'd like to be the honoree. I was like, how'd you get my number, right? How did you find me? But as I said to you, you said, oh, we have our ways, right? But I was honored, and thank you very much for that. I just, you just do things in life. You don't really expect to be an honoree at an event by doing things, because if you do, you fail, you know. We come from a family of 5. My dad raised us pretty much by himself. My mom died when I was a kid, as Derek said. And when I was asked to do a bio, I said, I don't know what to say. I don't talk about myself. So my son, who's a Cornell grad, I'll talk about him. He did my bio in probably 2 minutes, and he did a beautiful job. I was like, wow, he summed it up nicely. So anyway, we come from a family of 5, and my dad taught us a lot about integrity, how to do things together as teamwork. We were the family that cleaned up after the dances. We cleaned up the school, the church, and we brought my father's dinner up at nighttime for him, and that was our bonding, was working with my father. And he never said thank you, because it was part of the team. We all did what we were supposed to do. But on his deathbed, he said to me, pretty much, he said, you remember those nights down in St. Philip Neri? I said, how can I forget? It was a nightmare for all of us, right? And he said, you know, I couldn't find 5 men to do what you 5 kids did. And that's a fact. We knew our role. We did it well. And he fed us. He fed me extra. But anyway, you know, we're a product of where we come from. And you do things selflessly, like he did. If he had $2 in his pocket, and it's the truth, he would give us the money for lunch. Even if you had money in your own pocket, he would just give it to you, and he would take the train to work out to Queens from the Bronx. You know, and it's just the kind of guy he was. You know, and number 1 was education. You know, everything else came after that. You know, family, keeping us together. So a lot of respect for my dad. He's been gone for over 20 years. And he just, when I look at my brothers and sisters, one was a lieutenant in the police department. I have 2 nurses in my family. My brother Mike's, I don't know what you do, Mike, but it's great to know that you have a job. But anyway, I'm happy to be here, honored to be here. It's great to see everybody here from the community and beyond. So I didn't know I was giving a speech. Well, that's what Derek said. Derek said, I'm going to do a song, he said. So. Sad songs make me happy. I'm a funeral singer, and so I'm going to try to sing the saddest one I know. I'm just kidding. There's a song called Grace. It's a true story, and it's about a man who was literally executed right after his wedding by the British soldiers. So it's a song called Grace. As we gathered in the chapel here in Old Kilmainham Jail, I think about these past few weeks. Oh, will they say we failed from our school days? They have told us we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want in this dark place is to have you here with me. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Now as the dawn is breaking, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn, as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you. And I'll write some words upon the wall so everyone will know I've loved so much that I could see his blood upon the rose. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Now as the dawn is breaking, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn, as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you. And I'll write some words upon the wall so everyone will know I've loved so much that I could see his blood upon the rose. Come on, all together. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. No, there won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again.
Let's hear it for Sean Ruane. Yeah, he's amazing, isn't he? Our final honoree this evening was born in New Jersey, but he was raised in the Bronx in St. Brendan's Parish, the proud son of Irish immigrant parents, Michael from Limerick and Margaret Teresa from Clare. He's a graduate of Iona and earned a master's degree in criminal justice from John Jay College. Here for that, John Jay. And in 1995, he went to work for the Bronx DA's office as a detective investigator, and in January of 2002, he became a United States Postal Inspector. As a regional inspector, yeah, give him a round on that. As a regional inspector, he has worked many criminal cases ranging from narcotics and guns in the mail, identity theft, assaults on employees, and robberies of post offices. And in 2014, he was recognized by former NYPD Police Commissioner Ray Kelly for assisting the NYPD with seizing dozens of illegally obtained guns in New York City. He's currently in charge of the in-service training facility for the United States Postal Inspection Service. But for the yeah, give it up for the Postal Service, sure. Sure. But for the past 15 years, he has worked tirelessly to promote youth sports and activities here in Woodlawn. He has served in every capacity with the Woodlawn Boys and Girls Club, who provide important youth sports activities year-round in the North Bronx, and he has been on their board for the past 12 years. Rob is also a mainstay of all the St. Barnabas Parish sports, most recently their girls' softball team. And most weekends he can be found in the St. Barnabas Gym running activities or on Healy Field in the warmer weather. He married his high school sweetheart, Aisling, who hails from County Leitrim, and is the proud parents of Katrina, Cassidy, and Roshan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rob Moriarty. The Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson, salutes you, and the Irish community salutes you, Rob. The award, okay. Rob Moriarty, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, first of all, there's 3 pages here. It's not bad. I write big because I'm half blind, so it's not bad. I'll get through it quickly. Have you ever felt like you got set up for failure? Why did Sean go before me? And he convinced me he wasn't ready. He showed up 10 minutes before the start of this, and we're outside, and he's like, I can't believe I have to give a speech. I didn't know I have to give a speech. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm definitely going to do better than Sean. And I'm not. I'm not going to do better than Sean. I'm not going to sing. I guarantee you that. All right, so first of all, Sean did a great job. Let's hear it for Sean. All right, first of all, I want to thank the Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson, for doing this. For me, and more so for the community. It's very nice. She looks like she's totally happy to be here. I love it. Everything about it is positive. It's really good. I want to thank Derek Woods for nominating me. I grew up with Derek. Derek, I have stories I was told I'm not allowed to tell. He basically talked to me before that. He's like, you can't tell those stories. So anyway, I'll stick around after this. I took off tomorrow, so if you want to go outside to the main bar, we'll talk about those stories. I want to thank Joe Carty. Joe Carty is the owner of the Rambling House. Joe Carty is great for the community. He has always been there for the community. He does a great job. Gentlemen, class act. Finally, I want to congratulate the other honorees. You have Sean, obviously. Jack McCarrick didn't read off a script. Everything he did was great. It came from the heart. He nailed it. And you fake it till you make it. So he did great. And little Scotty McKiernan, where is he? Right, that's the youngster that got recognized. I know the whole family, great family. All right, so for those that know me, obviously I'm taking this honor seriously. Why? Because I'm wearing pants. I don't wear pants normally. Let me clarify for those that don't know me, I actually wear shorts. That's my thing, I wear shorts, so when the people in the back that weren't supposed to come in here, they snuck in through the back door, they're actually very happy to see me wearing pants. This is for the people in the back. All right. Contrary to what a lot of people may think, I am not the smartest person in this room. Insert chuckle, all right? What I am calculated. I am dedicated. I look to the future. I try to make things happen with a plan, right? So when I was a youngster, when I was 14, I met my wife, future wife. I was 14, I met her. It took a couple years before I convinced her to just be with me, right? So at the age of 16, she became my one and only girlfriend, Aisling from County Leitrim. And there she is, stand up. Stand up. So I have 3 children. Aisling is the one that you have to give the credit to, right? I have Cassidy, I have Katrina, Roshin somewhere. I have no idea where my kids are. There she is right there. So Aisling deserves the credit for making them great. So as I said a second ago, I'm very calculated and determined. You see what I did there? I was calculated. I give my family credit because I know I get points for that later. All right, so let's talk about Woodlawn. So Woodlawn, I've been involved for about 15 years. Fantastic organization. It's been around many, many years. So I'm just trying to keep it going, right? They've been around. Let me give you some stats. It is a not-for-profit club founded many years ago. Club was founded in 1959. Baseball founded in 1962. Basketball in 1965, right? So it goes back a long time. I don't think I need to explain the importance of athletics and team sports. What I do want to acknowledge are the volunteers. There's so many volunteers that go behind an organization like this that most people don't really understand it. So, for example, this past basketball season, which is just about over, we have almost 500 kids in the program. So if you have 500 kids, you don't want any more than 10 kids on a team. So that's 50 teams. You have 50 teams, you need 50 coaches. You have 50 coaches, you need 50 assistant coaches. So if you want to do the math on that, it's extraordinary. So we have commissioners for each age group, right? We go from kindergarten to 9th grade. These commissioners kind of take responsibility for their age group and make it work, right? We got to make sure we hire the right coaches. You never want a bad coach, right, with the kids. So long story short, it's a huge ordeal, and nobody gets paid. Nobody gets paid except the refs, right? And according to some of the coaches in the back, they get paid too much, right? All right, let's hear it for the people in the back. All right, so I'm going to stop talking. In closing, I want to thank everyone and dedicate me being honored to those who volunteer to make our kids better. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Rob wearing pants. Yeah. And now, once again, please welcome our Bronx Borough President for a very special dedication right now.
One more round of applause for all of our honorees. Wow, I am very, very excited to recognize our youth honoree. He has a long bio. Wow. Scotty, he's a current 8th grade student at PS 19, the Judith K. Weiss School. He's bright, he's enthusiastic, and he is a mature young man and an excellent role model for his fellow classmates at PS 19. He's one of 5 children and falls exactly in the middle. But there is nothing middle about Scotty. I love it. I love it. His parents, Jennifer and Patrick, his grandparents immigrated here from Ireland, County Cavan and County Mayo in Ireland. They immigrated here to New York, where they met and established their roots in the Bronx. Scotty is currently on the executive board of the Student Council. He's been involved in numerous school activities and assemblies. During the assembly with the executive board, he's addressed the student body on bullying and respect for all. He's an advocate for his fellow peers and an active voice on the student council. He's worked directly with his principal and co-members in establishing school-wide initiatives like peer mediation, student-led clubs, as well as building their calendar of events. He's always willing to use his talents for the betterment of PS 19. He's also a stellar academic. He's consistently on the honor roll, yes. He has an interest, love this, he has an interest in attending Fiorella LaGuardia High School for the Performing Arts to pursue his passion of dance. He's an excellent dancer and has mastered many forms of dance. And of course, his favorite, hip hop. Hip hop. Yes, yes, yes. He also attends dance class at the Central Park Dance, and he's traveled around with his dancing group and most recently performed at the White Plains City Center. He's also an athlete who plays baseball, basketball, and football. We want to congratulate Scotty and wish him the very best of luck as he embarks on his high school journey. Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing story. Our future is so bright because we have young scholars like Scotty McKiernan. Thank you so much, Scotty. Please come forward to receive your award.
Yeah, I'm too short for that one. That's fine. I want to thank everybody for, especially my school and my principal, for picking me out of everybody in the whole, I think 8th grade or maybe the whole school, for picking me out of everybody as the role model student to accept this reward. So thank you, and thanks to my parents and my family, for my grandparents who immigrated here and picked the Bronx, Woodlawn especially, because Woodlawn is the best. Oh, my God.
Let's hear it for Scotty. At this time, I'd like all the honorees to please come up and take some final pictures. Scotty, stay up here. We're going to take a couple of final pictures with the honorees.
And in addition to acknowledging our distinguished awardees and honorees this year, we also have a citation from the Office of the Bronx Borough President for none other than our Master of Ceremony, Derek Woods. This is for you, Derek. You picked up a beer? No, not yet. I know. Wait.
Thank you so much.
The B is for later. Hold on. Exactly. Wait. Let's finish with the program.
Let's come to do a toast.
We also want to acknowledge our good friend and the owner of Rambling House. Give it up for Joe. Is he here? Peter, are you here? Thank you so much to Rambling House. One more round of applause for always opening your doors to us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stand in the middle right here. Yep.
All right, in closing, let's give another big round of applause for our honorees and our Bronx Borough President. Thank you once again to the Rambling House and to BronxNet Television for airing tonight's events, and thank everyone for coming out tonight for this great celebration. It's been a big week, from the Throgs Neck Parade on Sunday to the big St. Patrick's Day Parade on Thursday, and of course the great Yonkers Parade coming up this Saturday, and we expect to see everyone out there. In closing, I'll ask you all, if you can, to raise a glass to those who came before us, to those no longer here, to our parents, to Ireland, and to the Bronx, whom we hold dear. Sláinte. Have a great night, everybody. Have a great night and put up that Irish music.